afternoon. It's about 10 minutes to 3. It's on a Saturday afternoon. And obviously, there was nothing in the flea market today, as I've already notified most of you. That's because nobody wants to sell at these prices, so there'd be nothing there for Tom or for Dave to purchase. Plus the fact that they don't want to sell at these prices because most of the stuff that they've accumulated recently costs much more than the spot value today would be. But I did make a few trades, and I'll show them for the Monday buy-seller trade. I got a bunch of kooks, and I traded off for some brilliant uncirculated eagles. But I'm coming on here today to complain about the Republicans. I am so sick of hearing these miserable jerks try to make this country into a theocracy when Jesus himself would be doing flips for one reason or another, and basically for the reason that these people are, if nothing else, all about money. Now, if these Bible thumping moron jerks would read the Bible, they would find out that Jesus went in the temple to throw the money mongers out of the freaking temple. He didn't go in there to congratulate them for making money. You will not find one reference in the New Testament to where they sanction the use of money to make money. It was called usury. And that's why the Jews were accepted throughout Europe, because they found nothing in their religion preventing them from loaning money. So they became the bankers of Europe. Now today, they want these Bible thumping moron jerks, Michelle Bachmann and Twit Romney, go around preaching the Bible, and Michelle Bachmann wants to turn this into a Christian theocracy. They bitch and moan about Shia law and everything else in every other country that they don't approve of, but yet they want to turn this into a Christian theocracy. While Christianity and Wall Street do not go together. They have never gone together, and they never will go together, except in the minds of the moron fucking Republicans. Now, these bastards are only they do not create jobs. And to think, well, like Romney says, geez, you tax us, and what happens? There's no one there left to create jobs. Well, these miserable bastards aren't creating jobs. Romney says he has leadership because he led a corporation. Well, the corporation he led was buying up other corporations and dismantling them because the parts were worth more than the whole. And then the other day, he has the utter gall to argue and say that corporations are persons, so you can't put, so they have the same rights as persons. Well, the Supreme Court ruled similar to that, but they are not persons, all right? And if they were persons, someone ought to ask this jerk why he got such a thrill out of dismantling people. If he wants to equate people and corporations, that's what he did for a living. He would buy up companies, dismantle them, put all the people out of work, sell the equipment that was in there, rent the buildings out, and left nothing in that community, no income at all. It's like in Violent here. How stupid. The people that run the tax bureau here allow the Amish from Pennsylvania, which are very nice people, peaceful, to come in here and create Amish produce markets and the other food they sell. They have a little restaurant in the same place, and they sell baked goods and everything else, which is fine, except the fact that the city of Vineland and the county of Cumberland gives these people a tax break to come in. So what do? They don't hire locals to build their place. They bring their own work crew in and build these stores. And then what do? Then they bring their own people in to be the sales representative in the stores, and they bring all their products down from Pennsylvania, and every farmer in Vineland ought to be up in arms because it hurts every farmer in Vineland to have these people come in here with their farm markets. Besides hurting the restaurants and hurting the bakeries. And what do? The Amish? They take their money and they go to fuck back to Pennsylvania. That's what they do. They create nothing here except they get a tax break and rob the citizens of Island and Cumberland County of their money and take it back to Pennsylvania, where it does us no good. It's not taxed in New Jersey. It's done nothing in New Jersey. It does nothing for us. Now, this Michelle Bachmann, uh, her and her husband, when they're not disassembling gays and making them straight, uh, they want to live by the Bible. Well, the Bible says no money on lending money, no usury, and that's what Wall Street's built based on. So either you're a Christian or you're a capitalist, but you can't be both. You can't thump the Bible in one hand and collect the money in the other hand. So get that. Why don't somebody pin these people down there? The media in this country is such a bunch of chicken shits that no one asks first of all any reasonable question of these people, and they allow them to go off a question and just spurt out whatever they want. It's just unbelievable. So then the next big thing you hear is all these Republicans hollering, well, maybe we don't pay Social Security all the way through, but we pay other taxes, that we're taxed probably 50% of our income, that we have to pay property tax and we have to pay sales tax. Well, I got news for you, buddy. Anybody that lives under a roof in New Jersey pays freaking property tax. If you want to live in $1 million house, then you pay more money than people like us that live in a $100,000 house. If you want to rent a trailer, don't think for a second that part of that rent doesn't go for the property taxes that the owner of that trailer park is paying to the city of Island and the county of Cumberland and the state of New Jersey. So quit bitching about things that everybody else pays. Now, sure, your property taxes are going to be more because you're living in some friggin' mansion up in North Jersey and taking money out of New York City and living the good life. So the good life costs money. If I lived in a house twice as big as this, I would expect to pay twice the taxes. All right. So quit bitching. All right. Now, the most recent decline and rapid decline in silver was due to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. The United States is so afraid that the dollar is going to fall into total chaos that they do not want to see the ratio of the dollar to gold or silver or any other precious metal exceed a certain point, because then it makes it look like the dollar is worthless. Well, the only thing propping the dollar up is the fact that the euro is almost worthless. So when people come to realize that, and then the demand for silver, listen, these are all contracts. Now, why in the hell, that's what happened with the credit default swaps. Why in the hell the government allows these people to sell contracts on silver where if you wanted to cash in those contracts, there is not enough silver in this world or any other to meet those contracts. Now, why they allow them to keep selling these contracts? Because it's all paper silver. No real silver changed hands. No real silver dropped by 30%. But our silver did. This stuff is worth less today, not because there's all of a sudden there's a great huge influx of more of this stuff. No, it's because they're allowed to sell more and more paper that says it's this stuff and never is and never will be, and there isn't enough silver in the world to match the paper that claims that as a claim on silver. So as long as the mercantile exchange can set the margins and they allow them to go absolutely apeshit, and then you can't tell me that these people don't know ahead of time that these margin calls are going to be changed, and then they start selling shorts and then flood the market with contracts and cover their ass by selling shorts, and they make money both ways. And who gets hurt? The poor person that wants to help himself later on in life and contribute to his retirement fund, or put some silver aside and hope that it'll help put his children through college, or hope that if he loses his freaking job, which is more than likely, that he will be able to cash in a Merc dime and get a loaf of fucking bread. This is criminal, as I almost every time I find myself saying that, but it is. And until these poor unemployed teenagers and young people in this country. And why in the world any person, I feel so sad for the people that are in uniform, because they're out there fighting for what? They're fighting for the goddamn 2%. These 2% that invest their money overseas, these international corporations, and then are allowed to take any debt that they incur overseas and take it off the books in this country so they don't have to pay freaking taxes on it, and then make all the profit overseas, or on book wise anyway, and pay 5% instead of 35%. It's the fact that you people allow it, because you people allow these morons, these greedy fucking pigs, to get into office, and then all they do is feed at the trough. Thank you.